Welcome to this week's podcast. I'm Tim Weigel. I'm the Grape and Hops IPM Specialist with the New York State IPM program. And we've had numerous podcasts about NEWA, and I'm pleased today to welcome Dan. Dan is our new NEWA coordinator with the New York State IPM program. I say new because just over a year in the role. So, Dan, I know you've been doing a lot of work since you've come on board, looking at how NEWA impacts growers, how it can be improved, and if you want to talk a little bit about some of the things that you found, some of the things that you've implemented, I'm sure the growers would like to hear it.
Sure. Thanks, Tim, for having me. So as you just said, I started January 1, 2017, and really one of the big projects that we've been working on since I started is understanding the grower voice. And so there are a number of things that we've been working pretty hard on. Foremost, a USDA grant that Juliet Carroll, Jennifer Grant, who's the director of New York State IPM, and Art DiGaetano, who's director of the Northeast Regional Climate Center, an important partner, actually landed last October. It's a 2-year grant. The first year, we're really focusing on what I'm calling the grower perspective. What, as growers, do they need to make NEWA a better experience? So my role really is to organize these sorts of things, and as an example, some of the things we have done are a 5-month online survey of current and potential NEWA growers to see what people like, what they don't like, what could be improved. We also asked some questions that are a follow-up to a survey that was completed 10 years ago, really looking at impact in terms of IPM and the way people interact with NEWA. So we have a lot of valuable information coming out of that. Part of the grant process also involves a series of workshops. We did these internally at New York State IPM. We did it with Northeast Regional Climate Center, and then just recently, this past March, we brought in growers and NEWA state coordinators throughout the network. So I think 7 or 8 of our member states were represented. We did a full-day workshop and went through a bunch of different activities to really define what that grower voice is. And so we have a report that will be coming out in another month or so that summarizes this, and it'll serve as a roadmap. The other thing I can mention is that this past fall, I worked with 4 graduate students in the School of Information Science at Cornell. We went out and interviewed 15 grape and apple growers in the Finger Lakes region to get some research done on what's called user experience, user interface design. So we're going to combine all of the results of these, and in year 2 of the USDA grant, come back and actually start rebuilding this website with the most highly prioritized things in mind to move forward.
Okay, so make it, I know you've talked earlier about reliability was one of the things that they liked.
Right.
Navigation was one of the things that they thought could be improved upon. So
exactly. Part of the process is identifying those things that people appreciate about NEWA, but we also need to be honest moving forward with ourselves and identify those, we call them pain points. It's the technical jargon, but what are those things that really frustrate me as a grower when I'm using this? And work on those while maintaining that reliability that people have such a high value on.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Dan. As always, if you have any questions or comments, if you have suggestions for future podcasts, please leave them in the comments section below.